Hello all, today we are solving LeetCode problem number 3507, minimum pair removal to sort array 1. So we are given array nums basically, and you are allowed to perform only two operations. So you can select adjacent pair with the minimum sum from the nums. So adjacent pair, the nearby pair, right? So only pair. So this will be having only two elements from nums. You can select them with minimum sums, the resultant sums, which means example, this let this be I and this be I plus 1. So this will be nums of I plus nums of I plus 1. So that will be the sum. So you have to select them adjacent pair with the minimum sums from the array, and if multiple such pair exist, choose the leftmost pair, right, and replace that with sum. So these are all the two operations you can perform, and the output which you have to return is uh, the minimum number of operations to make the array nums non-decreasing, which means in ascending order. So how do we solve this? Right, so this is basically we have to follow the same simulation, right? So we have to iterate through the array. So iterate through the array for finding the minimum adjacent pair. So this should be minimum find min adjacent pair, right? Which means you have to find the sum and you have to find the pair. So and you have to track down that complete throughout the complete iteration, right? So if pair found, replace with sum, right? And now you have to check if the array is now you have to add one actually. So we are now the some nums is updated and the removal happened, so this costs one operation. So we have to simulate this, and then after doing that, in the next iteration you have to check if the array is sorted. If it is not sorted, again repeat the same simulation, find the minimum adjacent pairs and repeat the same by converting that into a sum and adding one more operation to the results, and then you will be getting the processed array. So again you have to check. So this is how you repeat the similar same step, the simulation step, to until you get the arrays sorted. So let us understand this by following the example. So this solving this first example. So to track down we need some variable name ordered, and initially that we can have it as true, and again we have to have the minimum index to get the array, to locate the pair basically. So minimum index is this starts by -1 during the start of the iteration, and we have min value. So we will initialize this as positive in infinity, and we have a result which is the which cost or tracks down the number of operations, right? So these four are all the variables which here we will be using to track down. So we have array as 5 2 3 1. So first we consider these two pairs, so 5 2, and this is not in order, which means nums of I I is greater than nums of I plus 1. So have note this observation, because we will be using this in the code. So this is 1, and because of that the ordered becomes, let me mark down here only, so this becomes false. And the minimum index here, this will be getting updated to 0, because we are here, the I is here, right? And the minimum value will be 5 plus 2, which is the sum. Minimum value gets updated to 7. And right, so now we jump to the next pair, that is 2 and 3, and again the same thing, which is nums of I is greater than nums of I plus 1. So this remains false, it does not get updated, so this remains false, and we updated the index to 1. And again this results in 5, right? The sum results in 5, so which is very smaller than 7, so this will be 5. And yeah, so till now we did not complete the array. So once we are done with the complete iteration of the array, we check for ordered, and if it is false, we update the sum and update this result part. So I will come there while running throughout this problem. So now we are done with 2 3 pair, and we are moving to the last pair, so which is 3 1, and the sum is 4. So again this is 3 1, which is not sorted. Oops, this is sorted, right? 2 3, so this will be updating back to no, we should not check that, because we in the end of iteration only we usually check, so that's no issue. I'm sorry about that. And 3 1, it is 4, we update the index to 2 0 0 1 2 3, so the index is 2, and the minimum sum 4 and 5, which is 4, right? So in case this results in something like sum 6, what happens is the minimum sum will be 5. So we know the minimum index here, right? The minimum index will be this minimum index stores the index where you get the minimum sum. So using that, you will be extracting that particular pairs out of the nums, and you sum that up and you remove that from the existing array. So you have to note down an observation here, what we are following, because this tracks this the I tracks basically the minimum sum, where the it tracks uh, the pairs where we will be getting the minimum sum. So because of that, the updated nums will be, we will be reducing the pairs and adding the sum, right? For example, 3 1 becomes 4, and we append this into the array, so in that case it becomes 5 2 4, right? So how do we get that? So nums we have to update it, so based on that we will get nums of 0 to minimum index. We perform the slicing operation, minimum index added with, because minimum index it will not be non-inclusive, so before until that it will be added, and we have to update the sum, which is this minimum value you have to add to it. So minimum value, and this will be the rest of after the pairs value, rest values after the pairs. So nums of min index plus 2, right? So this is the expression, so just note down this also, let me name it as B, and now again we can proceed with that. So this will be 4, and since this is smaller than the 5, we update 4 and we update the minimum index back to 2, right? So now we are done here, but still in the end of iteration we check, this is 3 1 and this is false, right? So since it is false, we have to perform the conversion and removal of the pairs and add the value. So because of that, this cost us one operation, and we update this new nums by equation b. With the help of equation b, we are getting 5, 2 and 4. These two combined, we are getting 4. So this array should be taken down to next iteration. Repeat the same steps. We'll have ordered min index and min val, and res is equal to 1. This will be tracked down to, will be remain the same. Remain The value will be tracked down for complete iteration. But whereas here this will be true, because we run this in an inner loop. This will be in that the first loop, and this will be in the inner loop, the outer loop and the inner loop, right? So minimum index will be -1 and minimum value will be infinity. So we start here, these two pairs. So this is false, right? Since 5 is greater than 2, this is false, and we update the index 0. And because we are getting the minimum value of 7, 5 to 7, so which is smaller than the infinity, so we update 7. So because of that, this gets updated to 0, right? And now 2, 4, even this is false, right? This remains false. And 6 is smaller than 7, so we update 6 here, and the index becomes 1, right? And yeah, that is end of iteration. So still it is false. So because of that, we use one more operation. This results gets updated to 2. And because of this, following b equation, we get b implies for conversion of new nums equal to 5 and 6. Again, this will be taken to next iteration, right? So in iteration 3, nums equal to 5 and 6. Now you can see that ordered will be true. So once ordered is true, you return result. Whatever result value has, you just return it. So that is what we are getting. We are returning 2. So this is the answer. And time complexity here will be, since we are using 2 for loops, this will be big O of n square. And space complexity, we are here nowhere we are using any arrays to track down things. Just we are using variables. So this will be big O of 1 space complexity. So yeah, so with all this observation, let us go ahead and code this up, right? So result is equal to 0, and order flag will be false. And now while not order, until this becomes true, we have to iterate that, right? So, and we start with order as true, and in the end of iteration we check for the condition, then we update the order value, right? Min index -1, we initialize that with the -1, and min val will be this will be in positive infinity. Now we jump into the iteration of the array. So for I range len of nums -1, because we will be using tracking down nums of I plus 1 and nums of I. So we have to reduce the range of the loop by 1. So now if nums of I is greater, now first we have to check for the minimum value, right? So nums of I plus nums of I plus 1 is lesser than min val, then you update the minimum value. Right, and also update the index. And now you update the order. So if nums of I plus 1 is lesser than nums of I, order equal to false, we have, yeah, order will be false, will be updated back to false, right? And we come out of the loop, and now we check for the order. So if it is true, we return, else we process. So we reduce the array, which means like we uh, add the sum of the pairs and we remove the pairs from the existing array. So not order nums is equal to nums of 0 till min end plus this should be min val plus nums of min end plus 2, right? What happened? Okay, now res will be plus or equal to 1, because in this time we are using an operation, and that is why we are adding 1, and now we have to return it. Oops, order. It's a typo. Yeah. And thank you.